Previously on the last Pokemon challenge. Oh no, I spoke to her. She's going to want to try and chat me up. And coming up. And I cannot think of a good reason why this muck exists. Today on Pokemon Crystal, we run some kind of weird cat ferret thing. Come on, we all saw it coming. Of course I was going to run Zangoose, I can't help myself. After the absolute debacle that was the red fight with the last challenge, I need some redemption, and Zangoose is the only way I know to get redemption. Of course, we're running it in the 4 moves challenge, as we always do here on the channel, and that means we get our 4 moves from the very beginning of the game. We have Headbutt, Return, Swords Dance, and Dig in this particular challenge. Headbutt and Return, Strong Stab. Return being stronger than Headbutt from around about Jasmine onwards. Dig will help us sort of with Jasmine. It will definitely help us with the ghost types. And all around, it's a pretty good move. Now, Zangoose definitely has the potential to be sub-hour, so I'm going to try my absolute best with this challenge. No promises, but we'll see what happens. We get through Rival 1 in under a minute. That is a very, very good start. And now we have one of the places where I do end up losing time sometimes in a run. Let's see, can I do the triple question mark naming quick, sharp, and in a hurry? I can, and the Super Nerd gets squished by Professor Elm. I'm never moving that Super Nerd. I love that Professor Elm just walks backwards into him. I imagine every single time that the Super Nerd's like, what the hell are you doing, mate? Anyway, let us move onwards and upwards. Zangoose, I think, will do very, very well. Well, I don't think it will do very well. I know it will do very well. Just going to get lucky with the early wild encounters as well. This is attempt number 2. Attempt number 1, I had so many blooming wilds that I just gave up. I do that quite often, actually, though. Say if I get really, really high encounters on the way up to Violet City, I'll just abandon the run and try it again, because by that point, I've not really committed to the run. This one, though, is going much, much better. We'll pick up the potion, we'll pick up the bitterberry, and then we'll make our way into a Violet City. No need to do a heal yet. Let's go straight in to Birdkeeper Abe. He's got a Spearow. That Spearow likes to peck, and we do get rid of it in 2 shots. So I'm going to use a very quick potion just in case we end up crit by the Pidgey here, because if we get crit by the Pidgey, then we are going to be losing our berry a little bit early, and I don't want that to happen. But that didn't happen in this instance, and we can take on Falkner. Gym Leader number 1 of 16. Flying type specialist leads with Pidgey. 2 shots on the Pidgey. Probably going to be 3 shots on the Pidgeotto. Nope, we crit it. There goes our berry, but here comes level 8. That means we get our first badge, the Zephyr badge, in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Slightly slower than Ursaring, but there are plenty of opportunities to make up time in this challenge. Very, very quick heal in case we get caught by any of the trainers in the Union Cave. Get the key escape rope, and away we go. We'll get the Prosecure Berry here, and now we've got a little bit more grass to get through. If we get through this set of grass here and the set of grass for the Super Potion, we will be good. We don't have any more unforced wild encounters from this point onwards, which is absolutely blooming fantastic. Let's stick on the Repel. We'll move the Super Potion up there. And now we've got to try and get past this blooming hiker. Never like battling him at the best of times. We'll get a Great Ball to sell for a little bit of money, because I'm not sure what the money situation is going to be like here. I want to take on a Coughing just for a bit of physical defense experience. I think it might come in handy. And with just 4 moves to take care of it, it's not a bad battle. Out the other end of the Union Cave, saying hello and goodbye to Hiker Anthony en route. And we can go and buy some repels. We'll buy 8. 8 seems like a good number. Get out of my way, old man. We've got places to go, people to see. We're in a hurry. And now we'll chat with Kurt. He is related to Lance because he is just as much of a liar as Lance. I don't believe for a moment that his back is in any pain whatsoever. He just miraculously recovers as soon as we defeat the Rocket. 1 rat down, no quick attack. 2 rats down, no quick attack. Are we going to get the ever-elusive triple? No quick attack rats. We'll have to get through this lady first, and then we shall see. I hope we don't get poisoned. Even better, we just flinch. That is what I like to see. Super Potion there. Final rat of the Rockets. and we don't get quick attacked. Fantastic. That's what I like to see, and then it should be a one-shot on these bats now. We have enough in the level department. Let's take on the final rocket here. He leads with a coughing. It's going to be a 3-shot on the coughing unless we crit. No damage at all here in the Slowpoke well, growing up to level 11. And now we can chat with Kurt once more. He's suddenly healed himself because he's a liar. Not only is a fake, he's a liar. Let's get through this part of Bugsy's gym now. The twins are easy. Here comes Bugcatcher Al. He has a Caterpie and a Weedle. Let's hope we don't get poisoned by the Weedle. We don't get poisoned by the Weedle because we knock it out in one. We're going to take on Bugcatcher Benny, and we're also going to do Josh in this challenge. I want to make absolutely 100% sure we get as much early game experience as we can, because the middle of the game, the early part of the game rather, is where we actually struggle for levels. As soon as we get to that midpoint, we just race through. We don't have immunity, by the way. That was a Gen 2 miss on the poison powder. Let us now take on Bugsy. Gym leader number 2 of 16 leads with Metapod. Metapod is free setup. Look at that attack bar. How ridiculously massive is that? It's going to be 3 one-shots, no doubt about it. Growing up to 14, and we get our second badge, Hive badge, in 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Very, very quick potion here. We'll grab onto another berry as well, and then we'll go round and take on rival number 2. This time he's going to lead with his Ghastly. We're going to go underground, and we are going to get rid of the Ghastly. Then we'll swap to a Headbutts for the Zubat. 2 shots takes care of it. And then we're out of Headbutts, actually. Bum. Didn't realise that. It's fine. We can just do this. We've got Return. It's not the biggest power in the world yet, but it is enough to see us through. We'll do a healing Goldenrod anyway. Let's move those repels now up to the tippy top spot, and we'll try and do some good Farfetch'd movement here. Farfetch'd movement is kind of difficult, actually, when you're trying to do it in a hurry on 4x speed. It's very easy to overshoot from time to time. We'll get the scythe, and that means we can cut down the tree, stick on another repel, and through the rest of the forest we go. We'll pick up the standard ethers. They come in very handy when you've only got 10 PP to hit the ghosts a little bit later on, and then I'm going to stick on a 3rd repel as well. And it's suddenly daytime. Fantastic. Let's get ourselves into the Pokémon Center, and let us take on the underground first. I want to get these levels before going through Spin of Hell. I think that would be a good idea. Hopefully be a one-shot on most of these. Not quite on the first Slowpoke, but that extra level should mean it's a one-shot on Slowpoke number 2. Over here we've got Mr. Magnemite Man. He has 3 Magnemite for us. The level 7 goes down in a Headbutt. The Voltorb comes out next. It goes down in a Headbutt, as does the second level 7 Magnemite. And then the third one, we're going to dig a hole. Just like that, we get through. Let us grab the coin case. Let us also take on these next couple of trainers. Lickitung beating up, my favourite hobby in all of Gen 2. I love beating up Lickitung, cannot stand that line. And then we'll take on some Grimer as well for good measure. Very, very easy there through that part of the challenge. We'll grab the escape rope once more, and I am going to do a very, very quick heal. Must remember to go into the game corner as well to get our Abra. Find this movement there is good. Let us take this Abra, and then we shall leave and head north after we get the bike. Knew there was something I forgot. There's so much in Goldenrod that sometimes your brain just skips something. Very important that we get the bike though. That will let us move in double quick time. So let's register it right here, right now. And then we don't have to worry about slow movement for the rest of the challenge. Picnic Kim catches us, she always does. She's got a Vulpix. We've got a one-hit KO with a Headbutt. And then we can move on. Here comes Ivan. Ivan, remembered your name today, Ivan. Aren't you the privileged one? We're going to knock out all of your Pokemon in one shot regardless. Growing up to level 17. And now we'll take on a Fire Breather Waltz. He's got a Bumhead Fire Duck, we've got a Headbutt, and then he's got a second Bumhead Fire Duck, so we've got a second Headbutt. Very, very good stuff there. We don't get Juggler Irwind. No need for the quick claw in this particular challenge, so it's out the other side. Let's say oh hi mark and get a very, very easy victory here. In fact, we're going to use return against the Abras here because it's just as much of a one-shot and it saves a little bit of PP for the next gym. Let's have a little chat with Floria. She's going to make her way back to Goldenrod. We'll race her there, but we have a rental Abra, so we get there much, much quicker. Into the gym we go. This is gym number 3. This is Whitney's normal type gym, and she's only got last carry guarding her. It's going to be a 2-shot on this Snubble. We flinch it, absolutely perfect. And after a very quick sneezing fit, we are ready to take on Whitney. She's a normal type specialist, much like us, and she leads with Clefairy. We're going to try using 2 swords dances here and go straight in for the KO with the Miltank. Not quite, but she's healing looping, and we do get the victory. Nice, nice, nice. Very good stuff there. Plain badge in 10 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's get out of here. I'm sure Whitney is not impressed with that. We'll go and chat with Floria and the eavesdropping so-and-so, and that means we can start heading back up north, as it were. Nothing to do here, so we can go straight away. So I said earlier that we weren't going to get any more unforced encounters. That all depends if your movement's not shockingly bad or not. No shiny Sudowoodo today, but it is a female Sudowoodo. We will get ourselves a big hammer so that we can smash a rock to sell HP up for some vitamin money later on. Get past that horrible, horrible Eggy Greggy trainer, and now we can go up towards the lighthouse. We're going to try and do our best to avoid Norman today. I think he's going to be a slow, slow battle. We do want the mint berry though, and we do get past Norman. However, I do think that taking on the married couple here, Derek and Ruth, could be a very, very good idea. They're both very easy battles, and they will take the left-hand path down, so we don't have to take on Sailor. Eugene, is it Eugene? We're not going to battle him, so we'll never know. I do think it's Eugene there, though. And with that, we find ourselves in Olivine City in under 12 minutes. Very happy with the time so far on this one. Let's get ourselves our super repels, and then we'll have a little chat with the burly man, see if he gives us his phone number. He does. That means that we can move the boulders when we get to Chuck's gym. Have a little chat with the nurse here in the Pokémon Center, and we can start trying to get some extra levels by going up the lighthouse here. This should be a good place to get some levels. I can't see any of the trainers giving us too many problems. Growl could have been bad from that Noctowl had we not taken quite so much health off it on turn 1. And then talking of Growl, we've got a pair of Growlithe here. These should be one-shots, I say, hoping that I've not miscalculated here. I don't think I did miscalculate. Maybe that first one before the level up was a range. Let's take a look. Absolutely it was a range. Looking at how little we did against this Marill. This is the one issue with Zangoose. Its level up group, Erratic, is not great for early game experience. It is a slog, but then it suddenly speeds up where it matters the most. Jazz is lying about Amphi. She just wants some drugs for herself. We are going to oblige, though, because otherwise we can't complete the challenge. Let us do a very, very quick heal in the Pokémon Center, and then we shall cycle back. Now, I know quite often I get comments saying this is not quicker than doing Olivine City and Ecruteak City in the intended order, but one thing you've got to remember is that we now have extra levels. We are going to reduce the chance of a lot of those ranges we would have had before, and that does make a huge difference. It's only about 7 seconds we lose cycling back, and you've got to do the movement at least one way regardless. Plus then we get to go to the Lake of Rage, skip all that movement, skip a menu. It really does add up. Quick Ecruteak I do think is the way forward, especially because it also gives you that double heal that you wouldn't normally get. Anyway, let's move on. The Kimono Girls, easy as pie. Let us grab the raft from the man staring at the stage. We'll then go in to the Burnt Tower. How many headbutt PP do we have? 8. Perfect. That should be more than enough to see us through here and the Lake of Rage. I say that, but stranger things have happened. Rival 3-time, Burnt Tower. leads with Haunter. We're going to go underground for the Haunter, and we shall knock it out in 1. Same for the Magnemite. Oh, I've just noticed a bug that I'm going to have to fix. Dig is not working as intended for some reason. Dig is not giving us the semi-invulnerable turn. It doesn't really make too much of a difference here, but it will do for Morty. So I'll tell you what, I'll get that fixed, and I'll be right back. Crisis averted, and Dig is now fixed. Without getting too technical, there was an issue because I'd added Bounce into the same list that Dig and Fly use, and then I didn't quite tweak it to make Fly work. Absolutely fine though. We can now take on Morty, gym leader number 4. He's a dual ghost and poison type spectacular leader, led with Ghastly. Ghastly went down in 1, as did Haunter. Gengar's a 2-shot, and then this last Haunter will be a 1-shot. Morty has been defeated, his reign of terror is over, and we get his badge in at 16 minutes and 28 seconds. I'm just going to use one last ether on Headbutt, and with that, we can start making our way lakewards. Let us stick on a regular repel, and then I am going to pick up this super potion for another quick and easy heal. And I do want to take on Miller, actually. I think because we are running quite low leveled, Miller could be a good trainer to take on. He's got a pair of Nidos, there'll be a headbutt apiece, and that will give us some extra experience, then we can escape rope out. Don't want to take on any of those though, and now we shall grab another repel. We'll bring these super repels up actually at the same time. I don't want to take on the Clefairy Lady, but I do want to get the Bitterberry. I think the Bitterberry could come in very, very useful in just a moment or two. Avoid him, and we'll take on Pokemaniac Ron first with his other Nido. It's another 1-shot. We grow up to level 27. And then we'll take on the Slowbro trainer as well, Pokemaniac Ben. This is going to be a 2-shot. We get the flinch, and that means we can now take on the Gyarados. Gyarados is actually a little bit scary in this. Depends on how the Gyarados behaves. Flinch is good. Critical hit even better. Nothing at all to worry about. That means we can chat with Lance the Liar with the Flyers. He is going to make his way over to Mahogany, but we are going to keep him waiting just a little bit, because there are bits we want to pick up here, and those bits of course were the rare candy and the full restore at the lake. It's peak allergy season at the moment, so I am struggling a little bit with the live voiceover. The sun has well and truly risen, and that means that I am taking a lot of sneezing breaks in this one. I am even doing that with the Fexofenadine, or whatever it's called, the really fancy antihistamine. It's got nothing on my hay fever. I don't know what it is, but this time of year, early June, is always the absolute worst for it. And it's absolutely brutal. But we must move on now, because we have another gym to take care of. This is Chuck's fighting type gym, and I'm hoping we'll have a pretty easy time of it here. We are going to hold on to a Bitterberry just in case, and then we're going to hope for the best. This is the gym where we have the type disadvantage, so let's hope that we are able to get through fairly easily. We're going to try Swords Dancing against this Primate. Only 2 Swords Dances though, because that should be enough. Thank goodness for that. I wasn't worried, you were. Storm Badge in 19 minutes and 43 seconds. Let's have a little chat with Chuck's wife, and let us start doing a little bit of the old housekeeping now that we've got the air balloon. And that's the housekeeping done for this challenge, along with the Mahogany Hideout. I ended up getting the early pink bow in this particular challenge. I think it might come in very, very useful. We're going to get out of here now, though. We've done all we need to do with the rockets for now. There is a little bit coming up in just a couple of gyms' time. But first, we have to make our way into the Mahogany Gym. We're going to take on the Shelter and Cloister line first and foremost. Oh, please do not stall me like that, Cloister. That's very, very mean of you, as we grow up to level 33. And we can take on Price. Price is gym leader number 6, an ice-type specialist who leads with a seal. We're going to use Headbutt on the seal. It's going to be a 1-shot. We are going to then use a single sword stance against the Dugong, and then we'll use Return. We'll then use Return against the Piloswine, and that was a very nice Price. Glacier badge in 25 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's get out of here. We have to go and say hello to Jazz now. And this is where this challenge could all fall apart. Gonna hold on to the Periscure Berry just in case as we start ascending the lighthouse. Hopefully things go well here, but you never ever know what's going to happen with Jasmine. It could all go completely pear-shaped. We are relying on a physical move against the Steelix here, and probably not going to be able to get off too many sword stances either. We'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. This is Jasmine, a steel type specialist who leads with Magnemite. We're going to use Dig against the Magnemite and we get rid of it in one hit. We're going to Sword Stance against the second Magnemite. We do end up paralysed, but that is what the Periscure Berry is for. We knock it out in one shot, and now hopefully it'll be a two-shot against the Steelix. Iron Tail hits, but it doesn't really do much, and that means we have defeated Jasmine. Time of 26 minutes and 18 seconds for the Mineral Badge. Let us now get ourselves back to Mahogany Town and we can start heading towards the ice path. Hopefully we'll have a nice ice path today. There's the bike shop call. Was waiting for that to happen. I don't know why it's happening at seemingly random intervals in this challenge, but as long as we get a single bike shop call, that is all we really care about. Let us now pick up that elixir and we'll pick up the Ultra Ball in case I decide to do another vitamin shop on the other side of the ice path, because we are going to have to go back to Goldenrod to defeat the Rockets, so it makes sense to get some items to sell so that we can get a few more vitamins in us. Not quite sure what vitamins I'd go for though, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe start focusing on a bit of the old speed, or maybe try and bolster our special defense ever so slightly, because we don't have the best special defense in the world, but we don't have the best physical defense in the world either. So maybe we go for a bit of both. Who the heck knows? We'll have to see how I feel after the midpoint of the Rockets, because that's generally when I do the shop. Just after the rival battle, once we've rescued the real director, that is when I go for the shop, because we've got the lift there, so it's a little bit less movement than it otherwise would be. Let us now get ourselves into Blackthorn proper. We do need to go and purchase our max repels for the rest of the challenge, and we'll start heading down to get the extra items that I like picking up here. We'll get the elixir, we'll get past her for once. Stranger things have happened, I know, and I even do the good route here. Really strange things happening today. A semi-perfect end route. Chance will be a fine thing. Anyway, let's get ourselves back to Goldenrod. I'll start doing the Rockets. We'll meet back up for the rival. And so, after breezing through that first part of the Rocket section, it is time for Rival 4. This time he's in the Goldenrod Underground and he leads with Golbat. It's a one-shot on the Golbat, so we're on to Magnemite. Might as well use Return against that. It does go down in one. We have to use Dig against the Haunter, unfortunately, but then we can swap back to Return for the Sneasel. Two shots probably on the Feraligatr, or we just crit it. Absolutely fantastic rival battle there. Could not have asked for anything better, really. And I genuinely don't know what they were thinking with this Rocket section. Even now, it really, really does my head in. And I cannot think of a good reason why this muck exists. What is the point of it? It doesn't have any point. Neither does that coughing. Neither does this rat. I love you, rat. But these battles are meaningless, to the point where I'm actually coding in Rocketless into the challenge run patch. I won't use it for our videos together here, but it will be an option in case you're like me and you can't stand Team Rocket and wish they kind of had a rocket up their arse to get rid of them a little bit quicker. I really wish that was the case, but no. We have to endure them. You're not going to have to endure anymore, though. We'll meet back up for the final battle. And so we have just one final executive left to go. He leads with Houndour. That is going to be a nice and easy one-shot to get us started. Coughing goes down in one hit as well, and then we might as well just headbutt this Houndoom. 3 one-shots disposes of Team Rocket for yet another challenge, and because we've already got the pink bow, we're able to skip having a little chat with Marie. We spoke to Tuscany of Tuesday instead, and it's actually a Tuesday. as I'm recording this, let us not forget the radio card. So it is double 1, 2, 1 and 2. That gets us a radio card, and that means we'll be able to get past that pesky Snorlax in Kanto. Before we go to Kanto, though, we've got to get through one more gym together. This is Claire's Dragon-type gym, and I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue whatsoever. We're able to comfortably one-shot Dratini with Headbutt. All three of them to get us started here, and we'll move on to the Seadra trainer next. Let's see how much are we going to be able to do against this Seadra. The answer, with return, is an awful blummin' lot. That means we don't really have to concern ourselves with anybody else here in this gym. If we can get through her Seadra, we've got a pretty good chance, rather, of getting through the rest of the Pokemon here. We do have a bunch of filler trainers, though, that we do need to get through, and I always like taking on this cool trainer. No idea why, call it a bit of superstition if you like, but I always find I have better luck after taking him on. I know it's absolute twaddle, but superstitions are there for a reason. They make you feel better, and I think even if you just feel better a little bit mentally, you're going to play better overall. Let's now take on Claire, next gym leader. Dragon-type specialist leads with Dragonair. Of course, it's going to be a one-shot on the Dragonair. We got rid of the Seadra in one hit. It's all about the Kingdra. Is it going to be a one-shot? I reckon it's going to be close, but it is. That means that Claire does go down. We don't have a badge quite yet, though. She's the fuss pot that makes us go all the way to the Dragon's Den. So let us go there right about now. And now entering into the Dragon's Den, we can answer double 1, 2, 1 and 2, much like we did in the Radio Tower. And that gives us the final Jotonian badge, Claire's badge, in 36 minutes and 58 seconds. Very, very, very happy with that time. That means we get Dragon Breath, which is, of course, Claire's Halitosis, and we shall now leave. We're going to get the call from Elm because he's woken up from his stupor, and we will get ourselves back to New Bark Town. We're going to ignore Elm now until he gives us the SS ticket, so he is forever going to be holding on to that Master Ball. Maybe he can go out and catch Pokemon himself for once. He doesn't seem to be able to do that very often, so it would be a lovely, lovely, pleasant surprise if he did that. We're going to take on our standard trainers now on the way up to Victory Road, and look at how much experience we are suddenly gaining now that we have the later levels. I think the Repel wore off. Let's stick on another Super Repel. We don't need anything more than that. Right about now, let us go and get a quick free heal from the lady here in this house. And no, Joyce, today I'm not bothering with you. No, not you either. And definitely not you. However, we do have to take on Beth. It's slightly quicker to walk up to the trainers and chat with them as opposed to waiting for them to walk to you. So I always try and walk up to them and chat to them manually because that does save a wee bit of time. Let us now get into Victory Road. We'll use one final Super Repel pre-league and we'll see what happens next. Going to get this HP up because, of course, I sold the other one for money earlier on. And now we'll take on the rival for one final battle. This time he's going to lead with his Sneasel Pleasel. We'll use Return against it. We'll knock it out in one. We can one-shot the Golbat as well. We're going to use Dig against the Magnemite. That is going to be a comfortable one-shot as we grow up to level 48. We'll Dig against the Haunter as well as it fails to swear at us. And then the final two Pokemon are going to be Kadabra and his Feraligatr. One hit apiece to finish off the rival once and for all. We get Damageless Rival, and that means we're at the Pokemon League. Let us purchase our 4 full restores, and then we'll pause the timer, take a look at our stats in the league. And in this one, we are shaping up like this. Level 48 with 154 HP, holding the pink bow, with Return, Headbutt, Swords Dance, and Dig. Those are the 4 moves we chose at the start of the challenge. 151 in attack, 95 in defense, 94 in the specials, and 119 in speed. Don't forget, those are just the out of battle stats. We are about to get a big buff in battle, as we'll see now, against Will. He is our first league member, he's a psychic type trainer, and he's going to lead with Johto. Now, I think this league is going to be just as easy as it was with our Ursaring. I can't see any major roadblocks in the way. We're going to spam return and we're going to spam headbutt, and we're hopefully going to have a very, very quick time through the league. Will is very easy to get us started, and we do get through him first try in 39.39. On to Koga, second league member. He is, of course, a poison type specialist who's going to lead with Ariados. One hit on the Ariados gets rid of it. It's going to be a one hit on the Venomoth as well. Fortress is next. We're going to take advantage of Fortress's very, very poor learn set by doing a couple of swords dances, and then we'll use a return on the Muck. That means we are guaranteed to one-shot the Crobat as well, so we get through first try in 40 minutes and 10 seconds. Third on the chopping block is Bruno. He's a fighting type specialist, and he's going to lead with Hitmontop. An IC-free setup. Anytime I see a Hitmontop, I am going to set up 3 of our finest swords dances, and then we're going to get to returning. Doing swords dance just so that we can guarantee the one hit on the Onyx. A little bit later on, oh dear, that was a critical hit. That could be scary. Hopefully we are able to one hit the Onyx after all. Let's see, does return one hit? Of course it does. We have 738 in battle attack. That was pretty much guaranteed, wasn't it? Let us now use a full restore if I can find them in the bag. We're going to use the HP up as well. We're going to hold on to the Bitterberry, and we're going to use our 5 rare candies. In fact, we don't need to use the... or yes, we do need to use the HP up. We've already used it. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm saying. This is Karen. She is our final league member. She's going to lead with Umbreon. We're going to try a return against the Umbreon. Yes, it does one-shot. If we one-shot the Umbreon, we're going to one-shot the Vileplume. Up next is going to be the Gengar. Swearing at us fails. We don't swear much on this channel. I can't say we don't swear on this channel, because the occasional F and Jeff does end up seeping out, but it's absolutely fine. We get through Karen first try. No issues whatsoever with her. We'll use a Max Ether now on a return, and we have just one stop between us and the Hall of Fame. It's time for Lance, the Liar with the Flyers, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. We'll set up a single swords dance here. That should hopefully be enough to guarantee the one hit against the level 47 Dragonite. It does, so he's going to send out another because he's not learnt his lesson, and it goes down as well. We've got Scaradactyl next. As the rain is still up, we get rid of it in a single hit. So the rain stops, but that doesn't stop us destroying the Charizard, and we say goodbye to the level 50 Dragonite as well. And that means we have our league time of 42 minutes and 14 seconds for the Lance split. We have separate splits for when we pause the timer in the Hall of Fame, which in this instance is going to be at 42 minutes and 29 seconds versus what you're about to see on the midpoint leaderboards. And so, at the midpoint of the 4-move challenge, we're in first place. We are 20 seconds ahead of Mewtwo at this point in the challenge. That does push Ursaring down into third place on the podium, and Girafarig is now on page 2 in our 4 moves leaderboard. Let's take a look at the overall. It's going to be exactly the same at the top. All 4 moves challenges, and Zangoose is very much on the podium. That does push Espeon down into 10th place there in the drop zone, and heading up page number 2 is going to be our Girafarig 4 moves challenge. Now, just to explain why we have the 2 different times, the Hall of Fame time and then the actual time we see on this leaderboard, it's because for the longest time I didn't do midpoint leaderboards. It's something that was introduced a very long time into the videos, and so in order to keep everything consistent, I decided to go for the Lance splits, which I've logged for every single challenge. Really easy to find them, really easy to add them to the leaderboard, and that means that it's a consistent points for all of them. There's no kind of faffing about with the pause button either there, which is something else that has happened, especially in the earlier challenges. I wasn't quite as good at hitting that pause button, so it really is just the fairest comparison between all of the different challenges, and goodness me, we've had an awful lot of challenges up until this point, haven't we? It's kind of astonishing that this leaderboard section now takes close to 2 minutes in and of itself. I think we're up to like 223 challenges we're about to see, if I am correct, and if I am, I'll then hand you over to the Kanto section. Come on, leaderboard, change. 219, 4 off. We'll get there in no time. But anyway, this is the first half of the challenge. We've got another 8 gym badges plus red left to come. You know that, so don't you dare go anywhere. Kanto is next. And now we're rejoining the action as we always do here in Vermilion City. Well, the first thing we're going to do is get a rare candy from the chairman of the Pokemon Fan Club. With that safely tucked away in our bag for another challenge, it's time to start off on the Cantonian Gauntlet of Gyms. We're going to start off here at Lieutenant Surge. We'll do our standard Cantonian routing. I don't see any reason to not do our standard routing here. In the Zangoose challenge, we're going to have a very easy time of it against almost all of the gym leaders, I reckon. We'll start off here at Surge. He leads with Raichu. It's a one-hit on the Raichu. It's going to be a one-hit on everything, probably. I am really hoping that we can one-shot this Magneton. We absolutely can, so we don't need to use the 2-turn move. I think Dig is mostly surplus to requirements, maybe against Brock's, not Brock's, Blue's Rhydon, but then again I think Return might be more powerful at this point. That does mean we have our first Cantonian badge on the board. Let us start making our way towards Sabrina's gym. I didn't go into the Pokemon Center, so I do need to remember to fly after defeating Sabrina. She's gym leader number 2 here in Kanto. Leads with Peskeon. That's going to go down in 1. If Peskeon goes down in 1, all the rest will go down in 1 as well. We'll headbutt the Alakazam, make a little bit of a change for our Zangoose, and that is the Marsh badge in 44-45. Let's get out of here. Let's use the air balloon to fly to Saffron City, and we'll start making our way towards Erica's gym. Goodness me, we're going so quickly that my brain cannot keep up, but that's not hard, is it? My brain very much on the go slow today with all the allergies in the air. Quite literally, in fact, all these allergies in the air. Let's headbutt this Vileplume. Try and not get an allergic reaction from that. I've probably just made my hay fever worse, haven't I, headbutting that? Never mind. You live and learn. Hopefully you live and learn. Anyway, let's get rid of the Executor, and then we've only got 3 more Pokemon to get through. 3 pointless mushroom-style Pokemon. Well, mushrooms, some seeds or eggs, depending on what you think. And then another scary mushroom. Oh, there was Scary Shrooms, wasn't there? That was in Mario 64 in one of the levels. I can't remember which one. No time to think about it either. We've got Erica next. She's our 3rd Cantonian leader. She's a grass type specialist, led with Tangler. Jumpluff went down in 1. Victory Bell goes down in 1 as well. And normally we struggle to finish off that Bellossom with a physical move, but we were able to use Headbutt, our lower powered normal move. Just flexing on Erica really there. And quite rightly we should as well. Let's get ourselves down Cycling Road now and get ourselves over towards Janine. Janine's going to be a very easy gym leader. We've just got to headbutt her gym trainer here. Out of the way, Birdkeeper Bob. I'm not quite sure what a Birdkeeper is doing, being the mandatory trainer of a poison gym, but stranger things have happened. Let's now take on Janine. And do we think she's going to die a hit today, or is she going to save her money? She didn't in the last one, but hopefully she has learnt her lesson this time. But then I know Janine, and I know she's as stubborn as a mule. Even more stubborn than I am, in fact. No, she has learnt her lesson. She is clearly contrarian as well. Soul Badge in 46-46. A nice alliterative time there for Janine's badge. Let's get ourselves back to Saffron now, and we'll start going through the rock tunnel. 1 rock tunnel semi-successfully navigated. We'll get ourselves into the Pokemon Center, do a quick PP pit stop while we're at it, and we'll make our way towards the power plants. Now, perfect repel steps for getting in front of the door, not so good for my movement inside the power plant. Hopefully we've not lost too much time through that rock tunnel. We can't dwell on that though. We've got to get ourselves back to Saffron City now, where we're going to head on to everybody's favourite Nugget Bridge. Before we do that, quick trip into the gym to trigger the Misty cutscene way up north. I'm still in 2 minds as to whether flying there might be a little bit quicker with consistency. we shall have to figure it out later on. For now, though, we are going to take on Nugget Bridge, and in this one, I want to talk about the plans for the backports. Generally, I'm just going to play backports as and when I want to now. A lot of the reason why I wasn't doing backports on 4 moves before is because the 4 moves was a completely separate patch, and I'd done all my backports in bulk. I spent about 3 months just getting almost all of the Gen 3 decks done. So the idea of converting them all over to the 4 moves patch was absolutely horrible. But as it stands now, I've been able to get all of the different game modes into one single patch. So this does contain Supermon, it contains Nuzlocke, it contains Giftlock, it contains 4 moves, it also contains a perfectly vanilla game, if you so desire. The only thing you could change then in the vanilla game is your starters. You won't get the HM items. You won't get any of the custom features. It will just be like a completely unmodified game. And that was one of the big things with the patch. I always want to make everything opt-in as opposed to being forced upon you. That's why I never really liked the individual backport patches, actually, because it removed one of the starter options. And eventually I will look at maybe trying to make a place where you can catch all of these Generation 3 Pokemon. But in the meantime, let's now take on Misty. She is our next Cantonian leader. She's going to be a breeze. Hopefully it's going to be one-shot city throughout here. It, in fact, is, look at that, 4 one-shots for a very easy victory, and that is Misty done in 50 minutes and 8 seconds. Let us grab the machine parts, mustn't forget that, and then we'll make our way back to the power plants. Nearly used the air balloon there. That is one of the few times I consistently mess up my bag, because you're so used to using the air balloon once you get it, that you kind of forget that the rental labra exists, or at least that's how it works for me. Even when we weren't using the HM items, that was something that happened to me all the blooming time. I would end up using Fly when I mean to use Teleport instead. We'll get the X-Men card, make sure we can get past this pesky bear now. And that pesky bear is here in Vermilion City. Not quite sure why they didn't add a second bear somewhere in this version, although actually maybe Red caught the other one. Yeah, that would make sense. Sometimes you think of something and it sounds really clever, and then you realise the exact counter is staring you in the face. Sorry, Through we've not got time for you today. I really wish we could battle you, but we are on a very, very good pace. Let us take on Brock's one mandatory trainer. It's Camper Jerry standing in for Camper Liam, and he does have a Sand Slash. Let's now take on Brock himself. He is our next gym leader. He is a Rock-type specialist, and we apparently don't care. We are one-shotting his first 2 Pokemon. Let's use Dig against the Omastar. Oh, for goodness sake, he's got Protect. How annoying. We'll have to do the old-fashioned way of Swords Dance in to return. Where there is a will, there is a bloody way, Brock. You might think you outsmart us, but it just takes me a couple of turns to get my brain in gear. That does give us the Boulder Badge in 51-57. Let's now leave, get off the bike so that we don't have to battle 3 Drill, and we can start heading south now towards the Cinnabar Islands, or whatever's left of it anyway. Stuck on a Max Repel Air Balloon into Viridian, and we'll set our teleport spot there as well. Hug the right, then do the crossover and hug the left, so that we don't have any trainers to deal with. Go up here, get the rare candy, and then we'll have a little chat with Blue. He's spinning on the spot. He's clearly dancing on the grave of taste by doing that where a volcano has just erupted, but we'll leave him to it. He's going to get back to his gym now anyway. He's been caught red-handed, and we'll take on Blaine. Penultimate gym leader. He is a fire-type specialist, leads with Macargo. Not going to take any chances against the Macargo. We're going to use Dig. We'll swap to a return for the Bumhead Fireduck, and then we'll also return the Rapidash. Very, very easy battle there. That is the Volcano Badge in 52-59. Let us now very, very quickly heal. We'll use a full restore, we'll use a max elixir, and then we'll fly back to Viridian City. One more gym left to go. Hopefully it will be a nice and easy one for us. This is Blue. He is our final gym leader of the challenge. He's going to lead with Pidgeot. We're going to use Pidgeot as free setup because I think we can tank a couple of those wing attacks, and then we'll use a return. We outspeed the Alakazam, so no reflects for him now as we grow up to 69. 2 Swords Dances is enough for the ride-on, and then we're on to Gyarados. Another one-shot for another easy battle here, as we've only got Exeggutor and the Arcanine left to go. We defeat Blue in a very quick time, growing up to level 70, and that is 53 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's get ourselves over to Pallet Town now. We'll have a little chat with Professor Oak. We will unlock Silver Cave, and we can be on our very, very merry way to the final part of this challenge. One last fly back to Viridian City. One last cycle here in Kanto because we're about to go back into Johto. Let us hope for the absolute best here. Going to use the shortcut here to get into the Pokemon Center. We'll chop down these trees, I'll pick up the rare candy, and then we'll make our way, bloody hell, we'll make our way through Silver Cave. That was a fairly smooth Silver Cave, all things considered, and now we find ourselves in front of Red, so we won't hold back. This is going to be a very easy battle, all things considered. We're going to start off with a pair of returns against Pikachu and Espeon. We swapped Swords Dance for the Snorlax. He goes for Amnesia, then he goes for Body Slam. And now we have the win in the bag. There's nothing Red can do. We shall one-shot all the rest of his Pokemon. We were holding a Purge Berry just in case of Body Slam paralyzing, but it didn't, and that means we are now ready for time at 56 minutes and 2 seconds. Goodness me, what a very, very fast close to the challenge. Very, very happy with that. Let's take a look at the final leaderboards. I've not looked at the leaderboard yet. This is going to be live. I don't know Mewtwo's final time off the top of my head. Closing my eyes, I've clicked the button. Where are we? First place, and it's not even close. 56:02 is a personal best for Crystal. Absolutely demolishing Mewtwo's time. By how much was that? Was that almost 2 minutes? It was definitely well over a minute. We need to wait for the leaderboard to flick back over. 1 minute and 17 seconds faster. Zangoose really is in a league of its own. Please do let me know if you can think of any other Pokemon, either Gen 2 native or backported, that could even consider challenging Zangoose. And now it is really just a formality, this, isn't it? On the all Pokemon leaderboard, of course, we're in first place as well. 56:02 is a personal best for me through Pokémon Crystal. And now we have double Zangoose on the leaderboard, saved almost 6 minutes from the backport time. And that, to be fair, is about average for what you would expect when it comes to a 4 moves challenge. You save quite a lot of time. You can see another Zangoose there in 17th place. I really do like my normal types. That is what we're learning from this. I should run Pokemon like Ferret and Linoon again very, very soon. So yeah, I'm very happy with this one. I hope you've enjoyed this little bonus backport as well. It's been a lot of fun to do. Spur of the moment, wasn't planned. Definitely not part of what I was expecting to do today after recording Ursaring, but I am very, very glad I did it. I feel a lot better now, having had a nice red battle under my belt, because that first Ursaring one, oh, it was nasty. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed yourself here. I hope you like the new leaderboard as well. Try to make it as easy to read as possible. I'm sure we'll all get used to the different colours of categories very, very soon. But with that, we are done for this video, so I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, feedback, comments down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.